Hey guys, welcome to Podiatry Practice Mastery. Don here. Today I'm going to go over day one of the kind of regenerative medicine or Shockwave course that there was in Boston. I like talking through things because it helps me personally, but it also will help others that are using Shockwave or are listening or thinking about doing Shockwave. So a little of the backstory. We in our practice, I think it's been about 5 years now, we've been using Shockwave. And we've been using we started with the radial device, and then we added the focus device, and we were thinking about doing, or I'm thinking now that I'm here, about the EMTT. So that's kind of our backstory. We have 3 devices. We have 2 radial devices, one in each our office, and then the Westboro office, we have a focused one. We didn't get too focused only because frankly the price, right? We didn't want 4 devices. So let me go through and do something that I learned from a strategic coach called an experience transformer. What an experience transformer does is it looks at kind of what worked, what didn't work, and what would I do differently. I'll talk specifically about for me. Okay. So what worked about the course is it was great because it was in my backyard. I did have an offer to go to one in Chicago and to go to one in different places, but I didn't want to travel because of kids. That's something that I liked about it. There was a nice breakfast kind of starting out with all the coffee we could drink. And it was a nice group. What I really liked about it was there was, I guess, maybe, 70 people, maybe 80. I can't really tell how many were there. But it wasn't just podiatry. So it was people that were in aesthetics, people that were in chiropractic, physical therapy, urology, a lot of different specialties. So what it makes me feel like is like there is credibility for this device or for regenerative medicine or shockwave therapy amongst multiple specialties, which is kind of a nice thing. The lectures were nice. They weren't boring. For any of you that do presentations, what I really liked actually with the AV people is that they had some nice sounds like music as people were getting up. The presentations were very, I guess some were academic. Actually, most of them were academic. And the first day was pretty much all on academics. And I thought it was very appropriate both for podiatry but as well for other aspects. So the first part of the day, almost until about 2 o'clock, maybe 2 or 2:30, was all lectures, and then there was all hands-on. So I could actually get my hands on the EMTT, and I could see others doing the focused and the radial. My favorite lectures are always kind of the ones that have more practical things. So Paul Hobro, if you haven't heard about Paul, he's got some great shockwave stuff. Just Google his name, Paul Holbrook. He's from the UK. And he had some great points and tips about how to do it for plantar fasciitis and Achilles tendonitis and kind of his protocols. I really like that. Also his stretching or recovery protocols as well. So so what I personally found that the best about it was, well, it just confirmed that like shockwave is the best thing, and I learned a lot of different phrases, and I'll be talking about this in the future when I do some other episodes, but like certain phrases of how to explain things. Like specifically, I was talking to a couple of podiatrists, and one gentleman, he says basically he only offers shockwave and says, hey, basically this is how I treat plantar fasciitis, or this is how I treat Achilles tendonitis, and you like take it or leave it. And there was another gentleman that said, kind of gave people the options, so you can do shockwave, or you can not do shockwave, or meaning you can do this protocol or this protocol. And what he says though, but if you're not getting better with the normal protocol, like don't blame me if you're not getting better faster, because I know this works getting you faster. So a lot of it is the how you explain it. Also, I really liked the idea of treating 2 different body parts. I know that's kind of challenged, but with EMTT, it's like a 5 or a 10 minute kind of a treatment, and it's automated, very similar to like using a low-level laser device. And you kind of see them, and then you just leave them on that device, and then you can go see another patient. That's the nice thing I like about the EMTT. I tried it. I'm excited about kind of trying it in our office. Other good things, it was really just the camaraderie and talking to other physicians. My favorite one I was talking to a physical therapist, and he is doing it for like arthritis, and he's thinking about doing it for aesthetics. Like I don't think we're going to do aesthetics, but arthritis would work, and he's going to be kind of like working on like a subscription. Basically, you get, let's say, 4 sessions a month, and you can let friends and family use it. I thought that was a really neat application if your scope is with like physical therapy and your scope is the whole body. So I really like some of that forward-thinking type of idea. I also liked the table I was sitting with was mostly kind of body work people. They were not, they were like physical therapists and people like that, but they're so treating the whole body. They're treating the knees, they're treating the hips, they're treating other parts of the body, which it was nice to see that. And a lot of them do have both focused and radial and EMTT. So those are the things I liked. Things I didn't like, I tried the EMTT. I didn't like, and we're going to do this tomorrow because like it was kind of a basic, the original hands-on. So it would be nice to really get down and actually get my hands on and see what other people's protocols are, or even if they could be written up. Because in the slides, they many times went too fast. So I think kind of giving us some of these protocols of other people, giving us the slide decks, and people had said they're going to be really open. So if we email them or email someone, one of the reps, they will get those things to us, those slide decks or those slides, what other people are using. Because one of the challenges that I've had with Shockwave specifically is using it for neuropathy and using it for like a neuroma and using it for arthritis. I'm not seeing the best results with that, and I'm not sure if it's my Shockwave level, or like if I'm too intense or not intense enough, or not using the right tip on it. But I am seeing great results. Like I couldn't do now plantar fasciitis, Achilles tendonitis, peroneals, things like that without it. So another kind of bad thing that we did talk about, a lot of urology stuff and a little too much pictures and images, if you can imagine what I'm saying, for some plastics cases. But it was just nice to see other countries kind of using Shockwave. Kind of if I could do it better, or what would I change? That's the third aspect of the experience transformer. I don't think I would change anything. It was a good thing. I think I would probably have more boldness to ask more of my questions, specifically about. I think that it's about like the protocols of what other people are doing. So like having those written out. Hey, this is what we find works. Having that all written out. So I guess I'm going to take that on me and kind of write mine out and then send them to others and say, hey, does this sound good? That's what I could do. And also using all the other tips. I don't use many of the tips. There's like tons of tips, and I felt like I only needed to use 2 or 3 of them, and I didn't need to use all of them. Anyway, that's the idea from day one of the Shockwave course. Certainly, I'd love to know what your thoughts are. Please email me, Don at podiatrypracticemastery.com. Once again, I am not an affiliate for Shockwave. I just like to learn, and this was a great opportunity to go to one of these courses on it. Okay? Once again, thank you guys. Let me know if you want, once again, my protocols, how I use Shockwave. I have my toolkit, and basically if you go to podiatrypracticemastery.com, you can get my patient presentations, that tool, and in there you're going to see how I use Shockwave for each of the conditions, this little graph that I use, and if you click on the link, it's going to actually go to the Shockwave kind of slide that I use to explain it to patients. So I am doing it quite a bit, maybe not as much as some of these people, so hopefully when I get done, I was thinking to myself, like, wouldn't it be great if I like only did Shockwave? Wouldn't that be just a nice practice? I see some of the people there. The one I admired the most was Paul Hubro. He sees 16 patients a day, 3 days a week, and that's all he does is Shockwave. And I was thinking, like that would be a pretty good gig. Let's say you charge $300, and I think he does this out of his house with one room. And so you're doing $300 times 16, right? So you can imagine how much that is. I can't do math as I'm talking. But then 4 days a week, and that's it. Nothing else. Really low overhead. I just think that was a kind of a neat idea. I do also have another gentleman I've interviewed in the past. His name is Dean Dorfman. Dean's a friend of mine from Florida, and I did an interview with him, and that's on Podiatry Practice Mastery on the YouTube channel. I'll put it underneath this video or this audio, and his video there, that's all he does in his practice. So I kind of admire that there are certain people doing it. Let me know what your thoughts are. Okay, thanks.